Oh god. Looks like somebody's in my base. Okay, we're actually being raided. Well, isn't this a little bit all too familiar? Seems like I've been caught with my pants down once again, with some gremlins rummaging through my base while I was out buying a minicopter. The thing is that they didn't realize is my heart rate was already sky high, being 6 coffees deep, borderline delusional, and not having slept an unhealthy amount of time. I felt like I was cracked out ready to fight these blokes. So joke's on these guys. I was still kicking. Somehow. They were probably under the safe assumption that I had passed out from exhaustion or just pure tilt at this point. The thing is, this story is a fairly long and sleepless one, where I do fall into a pit of despair I'd quite not experienced yet in Rust. But this group wanted me gone, and the question is, why? Now, before we get into the video, let me thank today's sponsor once again, the Ridge Wallet. The ultimate goal of most wallets is to carry all the essentials with the least bulk possible, and the Ridge does just that. Now, this is where I'd show you my old wallet and say how it's not very capable, and now I've switched to the Ridge, but I've actually already been using a Ridge wallet for a few months, and it just keeps everything fairly snug and well organized. And well, with over 40,000 5-star reviews on Google, the Ridge team is so confident that you'll like it, they'll let you test it out for 45 days, and you can send it back for a full refund if you don't love it. As well as being made by durable materials, meaning it comes with a lifetime warranty. So if you're at all interested, use my custom link in the description and the code TESLA22 for 15% off. Thanks again, Ridge, for sponsoring today's video. Now, this whole story starts with actually a fairly simple goal for the wipe, and I would do just about anything to accomplish it. To become the richest solo on the server. I know, I just really needed that scrumptious title. The thing is, you'll soon come to realize what anything really entails. I get down and dirty with it. This isn't going to be some righteous solo revenge or getting loaded off insane amounts of PvP videos. This is how to get rich in Rust 101, the degenerate way. The thing is, I didn't start this wipe with the lowest of low expectations of myself. It actually took me a hot minute to get down to those depths. I started like anyone else, looking for my first victim to snowball off, before I suffered a few misfortunes. Okay, I can make pythons now. Nice. Oh, but I didn't... Oh, goddammit. Didn't leave enough to research the ammo. I've got to get the jump on this guy. I can't get in a prolonged fight. I've only got Crossy and Python. Really need him to stop, maybe? Maybe he's going to run power. That's the only thing I can think of. Oh, he's back there. Okay. Where are you going, mate? Let's have a look. I need to get this gun. Yes! Oh my god, I missed the fucking crossy shot. Oh, works out anyway. Let's get back to base. I went straight back to base and deep-put the loot I'd got off old mate. Now, I wanted to use this Thompson to try and get a few more guns. It may have been a risky play, but I wanted to head back to the same area to see if I could pick off any more farmers around power plant. So, that's just what I did. Put him. I don't know if that's both dead. His friend just ran down the cliff and booked it, and it's so fine. Oh my god. Another Tommy. A crap load of stone. I'm gonna take it and go. Stone will be great to have. I'd managed to go from a python with only 6 bullets to a few Thompsons and a crapload of stone. It was looking like a hot start, and honestly, it was only going to get better from here. But I decided to go see if I could find out where that second hazmat guy had slunk off to, and I would soon manage to find the group that would be the center focus of this video. One of the largest, most fortified cave bases I have seen in a long time. Ooh, okay. What's going on over here? Oh, Rib pulling up right now. Oh, he lives in that base. So unfortunate for me. Would have been amazing if he lived up here. Could have cut him off. Let's see what's going on here. This looks like a... I could probably get in there to those furnaces. Doesn't look like there's any turrets, honestly. Oh, maybe there is. I gotta go around. Okay, I'm gonna come back here with ladders in a minute. See if I can take this guy's rib. Get me back to my base faster. Full cave base. That would be an interesting little adventure. Oh. Let's have a rib. Looks like this guy had just finished like oil rig or labs. I bet you he's a lab runner. Yeah. He would have been an underwater labs or something. Now, obviously, I didn't really have the means to mess with the compound just yet. I had essentially 0 blueprints to my name, and not to mention they basically had their own little Fort Knox locked down with 2 layers of compound walls and countless auto turrets surrounding the cave. It would be a hard egg to crack, and it would take some careful planning to say the least. So, in the meantime, I decided it would be best to try and pick on their neighbor to see if I could get some bits and bobs off him. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Get me out of this area. Get me out of here. Auto turret galore. So this little base will be good to just store some loot in while I'm messing with these other guys, these other blokes over there. Now, I'd managed to get a few guns off old mate, and I had even found an abandoned base pretty close by, which I assumed they would have already raided. So most likely, they won't raid it again if it only had a wood door and a key lock on it. So I set it up as like a little stash base. This isn't really important just yet, but it will be a tad bit later when I really get into the nitty and gritty of this story. However, by the time I'd actually completed making this stash base and I went back to his base, he had all but completed his compound and got up a few more turrets. So messing with him was pretty much not an option anymore. So I decided to head back to my original base and try and gather some more blueprints to help me out in my endeavor to try and get into the cave base, where you could say I ran into some old friends. I guess you could call them that. Oh my god. What was this guy doing? You just bolt me? Oh, he's still on the roof. What a little bitch. Dodge and weave, dodge and weave, dodge and weave. You've got to be kidding me, man. This guy's such a loser. Now, although I did greed here a little bit and not med when I probably should have, I think I was most likely dead to the roof camper regardless. But one little detail I did find out about this group that was fairly interesting, they were actually the same group that raided me back in this video a few months ago. And I've had a fair few run-ins with this group to say the least. I knew all too well who these fellas were and how they played. They were a decently large clan and I could probably try and mess with them to try and get a bit of loot. But in the immediate future, they knew exactly where I lived and even started to door camp me a little bit. And we both know what that meant for the future of my humble home. So I decided it would be probably best to build a new base and move all my loot into it. So I got to work. Okay, she's built. Now time to start moving. Okay, this should be enough for my first run. Just get as much as I can. It's going to take me a couple more runs, but get it done. Make sure these guys aren't camping me again. It'd be really unfortunate if I died like that. Okay, last run. There's actually no way. Oh. It's one of them as well. Oh my... What are the odds, man? With a little dumb luck, they had found exactly where I lived all of 10 minutes after I just moved. Well, that's just my luck. And this wouldn't be the last time my unluckiness reared its ugly head, but at the moment, there was not much I could really do. So I just ran Arctic base for a few hours and even killed them a few times whilst upgrading my base as quickly as possible. I was fairly sure they were going to try and raid me. Oh, there's a guy. Oh, it's one of them. This probably isn't good. Oh shit, this guy's loaded. Nice. Okay, this should do the job. Shooting floor completed. After a few hours of running back and forth from Arctic base, I'd actually amassed a fair bit of loot, and to my surprise, my base was still here. Now, I'm not really sure where these guys went, but after I'd killed them a few times, they all but stopped coming over my way. Look, I wasn't about to start complaining. This was my opportunity to turn the tables, from hiding in my little hobbit hole to poking around their compound and really getting a grasp at what I was actually up against. Okay, I will... Ooh, he's in there, and he's hearing me come over this wall. Make my way up to the roof, see if anything's open. I hear him walking around in there a fair bit, so I wonder if he's going to come up here. Look at that base. She's a big one. Now, I'd actually got a good view of their compound from this base, and it was fairly substantial to say the least. But from what I could gather, they had 2 layers of high walls, and the first was fairly open compound with nothing much really in it, followed by their main compound which was filled to the brim with auto turrets. Something I was not really ready to deal with just yet. But there was still an opportunity here. Firstly, there was a tower overlooking their main compound which looked relatively unprotected, but I would leave that for later. The easiest hit and run I could find was the base that I had just used to get a peek into their compound. It was easily accessible, and on my base's side of their compound, giving me a relatively easy escape. I dwelled on it for a little bit, but I came up with a fairly simple plan for a quick in and out on this base. It was the same base that had been roof camping me fairly quickly after I had killed them earlier, so in my mind that meant that the L9 was near the top of the base, probably around the shooting floor, with hopefully some extra kits as well. So that was my goal. I would build into their shooting floor, blow through their sheet door, and work my way into their base after I break the ladders that I used to get up, meaning they would only really be able to get to me through the base itself, giving me one direction to worry about. So I waited until fairly late at night, around midnight my time, in the hopes of maybe some of them would be offline and I would actually have a chance. No, I sprung my plan into action. I was ready to succeed and grovel in my victory like any loser like me would. It would be absolutely divine. Okay, it's about go time. Let's get my kit on and get ready. This should be enough for 2 doors. I'll make a little bit extra, but it should be good. Alright, I think I have pretty much everything. I could only bring 1 SAR, so I have to do a bit of shooting with my AK. Bring a tool as well. I want to see if I can get that L9 out of their tower, out of this base. That's what I really want to try and get, is the L9. Build up still here, so that's a pretty good sign. Honestly, now I'm up, I don't want anyone else getting up. Okay, here goes nothing. Has he been taking damage? Hello? Wait, what? It's only just started taking... What? Ah. What a terrible start. I'm dead because of that. Yep. It was a short-lived dream. The Rust gods just did not want me to succeed by making my explosive ammo do 0 damage because of some silly little glitch that had slipped my mind, unfortunately, into finally getting through the damn door after wasting an arm and a leg's worth of explosive ammo just to get killed by old mate from below. It was a tragedy to say the least. Now, at the start of this video, I said I would do just about anything to become the richest solo on the server, and I really meant that. And things were obviously not going my way at this very moment, I guess you could say. Let me try and describe my mental state at this exact point. It was 1 AM, I just farmed for the past 5 hours with this single goal in mind, doing recycle run after recycle run, research after research, going from no blueprints at all to nearly every good blueprint in the game, as a solo. Just for it all to come crumbling down like this. I might ask what any sane human would do at this point. Call it a night, right? Hit the hay, go to sleep, be normal. No, not me. For some reason that I can't quite comprehend right now, I decided now would be an excellent time to start on that egg that I said would be really hard to crack earlier, aka the massive ass cave clan base. Yep, I started compound bowing out turrets off that base for the next 4 hours. I mean, what was I even doing? I'm sitting here right now wondering what the hell was going through my head. I just don't understand. You can hear the sleep depravity in my voice. Keep in mind, I'm 6 coffees deep at this point. It was getting dangerous. But alas, I made that compound my bitch. Holy shit, I cannot believe I'm doing this at 6 AM in the morning. The sun is literally rising right now. The birds are out, they're chirping, they've had a good sleep. Meanwhile me, sat here bug-eyed, compound bowing turrets out. Where'd I go wrong? But you know what, I might have been one eye open, questioning my life choices, but I was bloody driven. I destroyed not 1, not 2, but 3 auto turrets solo with a compound bow, and I was finally ready to get all greasy in their compound loot. I was filled with the wildest of expectations, and I would not be disappointed. Finally. Yeah. Let's get in there. Okay, let's take this slow. Oh, that's a good first box, actually. Oh, yes. Yes. Perfect. Check them all. Right. Okay, oh. Sulfur. Oh, wood and chainsaws, okay. More wood. Ladder. Fertilizer. Berries. Yummy. Oh my god. What a good day. Leaper right there, looks like full kit. Oh, what are you? Oh. Regardless of the less than elegant exit from their compound, I had managed to get a fair bit of loot for my troubles, moving it all into that little stash base I mentioned earlier in the video. This was fantastic to say the least, and I was ready for bed. Right? Wrong. I saw some dude's leg sticking through the wall like a little snack, so I just had to get into the tower and defile his body. So that's just what I did for the next few hours. I crafted up some explosive ammo and got right to it. Bro, fuck off, you stupid. Perfection. Just what I was looking for. Yes, give me your body, mate. Thank you for the goodies. Come soft side this wall. Now, I had got into their compound loot and got their many AK kits, and I even defiled his sleeper. Surely I was ready for bed now. Nope, don't kid yourself, why would I stop here? Might as well go through the next door, right? Yep, I've lost the plot. Okay, another locker, that's good, that's good. Even better. That's pretty good. That's like 6 kits now, I think, out of this base. It's fucking amazing. But why stop here? It's only 8 AM in the morning and I haven't slept for 24 hours. Sounds like the perfect time to pick not 1, but 2 walls. A little caveat to why I had to pick 2 here. Well, how Rust soft siding works at the moment is you can't actually soft side walls that have a floor piece in the middle. So you have to break the floor, then you can break the wall, which is kind of unfortunate, but just how it works. And boom, as you can see, a grand waste of time. Now, I'd been storing all my loot in this little stash base all night, and this thing was chock-a-block full. And I was actually fairly damn tired at this point, as you can probably guess, and I was just about to log out when I heard a guy farming outside. And, well, the first thing I decided to do is throw on a full kit and run out like a headless chicken, with nothing to lose, naturally. Some guy's farming out there. He went up to the left here. I should be able to catch him. Oh my god. I might have just got myself raided. Now, as you can probably guess, old mate came back with his boys quick smart. I'd been pretty upset losing that amount of farm, and well, he obviously wanted it back. Is this guy blind? I only have had a gun? Oh my god. Damn it. It's the same guy as well. Now, I was completely cracked out at this point. Like, imagine. Just imagine. I'd failed my first raid of the night in a spectacular fashion, and now I'm bloodshot-eyed watching some full kit that I just killed jump on top of my little 2x2 with a wood door key lock on the front, knowing his farm is in my boxes. If this thing was raided, my PC might just find its way out my window quick smart. But luckily for my computer's health and safety, they left and gave me some time to move loot. Now, I'd noticed Smokey had just woken up, so I spam messaged him to give me a hand. I was not about to lose all of this, so I filled my pockets to the absolute brim and put on my Nikes and ran straight back to my main base. Hello, sexy legs.
Hello, sleep deprived old man.
I'm not, I actually feel completely wide awake. I was about to go to the gym, actually.
Yeah.
Bro, I've been having so much fun on here. I'll get you to come play if you want to come.
Yeah. Okay.
So, that was it. With just that, my wipe goals had completely changed, and I couldn't go to bed now, otherwise Smokey would bully me, and I couldn't have that now. So my goals took a sudden shift from just messing around in their compound to actually trying to raid their whole cave base, since I could use their sulfur from the compound to fund my little devious plan. But I needed to get past the auto turrets and actually have a squiz at the actual cave itself. Found a miner's hat. Perfect. They got something interesting going on. Armored wall on the back. Might be a drop cave. Pretty sure there's a way to like incense rocket a drop cave and burn the turrets. Let's have a look. Oh, somehow I made it down here. There's the water turret, but I might be able to actually raid this. Look what I did.
Hello.
Look what I did.
Stream it. Oh.
I don't know how I got to the bottom of this drop cave. I like bounced off the wall. But look. Okay. We gotta raid this, right?
Yeah, we have to.
It's just, you know, we just owe it to ourselves, really. Like, honestly. We owe it to ourselves.
Ours for the take.
Where have you put the GP?
Bring in a second.
So, there we go. I had found a fairly decent weakness to this base. With how they had it set up, most likely it would only be a few doors until we hit the mother lode. So, we had a plan. We just got to it.
Oh, I see boxes.
Okay, just wait. Vending machine here. Nothing. Nothing. Oh, cloth. Up here. Yep. Garage door open. More garage doors open. Okay, so it's down and in here, I reckon, yeah. Wait, what's over this side?
There's like a garage door
Yeah.
for that.
So wait, it's... Okay. So it's through there. So we gotta go up. How much more you... I got heaps, but I don't have much
I got 14
durability.
exploit.
Look at all the cloth. I had to quickly go back and craft a little bit more explosive ammo just to get us in. But it wouldn't be long until we were knees deep in their juicy, juicy loot.
Not much.
Another one? Oh.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Oh, yes.
Can we loot this box?
Yes. Oh, I can make, hold up. Is there sulfur in here? Oh, there's no launcher, is there? No.
No. Alright, can we just go anyway?
Yeah.
We're both loaded.
Yeah. Let's go. You.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Let's get out of here. We had just hit jackpot. After a long ass night, I had finally reached the point where I could call myself fairly rich. And you know what? I may not have slept for 24 hours, but it was well worth it in my eyes. Look, I may not be solo anymore, but that's just semantics. Anyway, we did go through that last garage door and there wasn't really much behind it, just their tool cupboard and a barbecue with some MLRS rockets in it. Oh. That barbecue there. We can get to it. We can get to it.
Oh, that fucking burns.
Oh, 3 MLRS and an LR.
Yeah.
But like heaps of metal frags in the upper bit. Weird. Oh, well, it was still pretty loaded cave, but low-key expected more. Like, I was still pretty fucking loaded, but like, I don't know. Do you want to grab those comps?
Yeah.
So the cave base was fairly loaded, but I did expect a clan of this size and 10 plus bags inside the cave to be loaded to the brim full of rockets, HQ, and everything else I could possibly imagine. Or maybe that was just my wishful thinking because I hadn't slept for so long. But at this point it was already around midday and I couldn't call it a night now, otherwise my sleep schedule would be in the dumps for weeks to come. So I decided while Smokey was AFK in base to go pick up a minicopter from Bandit Camp. This is where things start to get a little bit interesting. I was getting this minicopter from the other side of the map for a fair while, and I noticed Smokey had died while I was getting it. Now, I didn't really think much of it at the time because I remember he was AFK in base with a full kit on, meaning he could have very well froze to death. It was the most likely outcome. So I just continued on my way to buy the mini. This actually all changed when I got back to base. Okay. Oh, there's a lot. Okay.
Hello? Tesla. Which way are they trying to get out?
They're not trying to get out yet. They're in the base right now. Tripled him. Holy fuck, how did I get that? One more in there. There's going to be one on the outside. You stay out here. I'm going to push in, alright?
Yeah.
I'm in here now. Able to bait them into some shotgun traps. Can't see anything because I don't have a flashlight on my gun. There we go.
Dead?
Oh, one more in there, fuck. I'm hoping he goes down. Just stay alive, stay alive.
Yep.
I'm spawning roof right now.
Do you know if Roof's peeking me or you
No, he can't. I can't tell.
Alright.
He's dead.
Good shit.
They're all dead. Was that you? That was
Sorry,
that you?
ladder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if they got anything out. Oh, they still had so much expo on them. Let me have a look at the box. If they looted any of these boxes. No, they didn't get anything out. And they didn't even get to the bottom. They kept dying of shotgun traps. They had to drain them all. They were raiding for so long. They must have been raiding for so long. Do you want to try and work on ceiling with me? I'm making a door right now, but...
Oh shit, I'm dead. LR outside.
Are you... Were you outside?
Yeah, I just depoted it. I died there. I was running back.
Do you have AK or what? Out there?
I had Tommy. I just had Tommy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm making a door and code lock right now, but they can probably...
I destroyed the ladder in.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm nearly dead. Fuck. Okay, I'm good. Although we had won the raid, they actually came back again for seconds, so we had to clean them out one last time. One dead. If you just quickly spawn... If you quickly spawn flank base...
Yeah.
Good too, I think.
Come out with gun or naked? Like how close body?
I killed them all. I did.
Oh.
One left. I'm 1 HP, I might bleed. Yeah, I bled. Quickly go out with a gun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's looted
Naked
again.
was right side. Yeah, he would have.
No, he's behind TC. With LR now, I think.
Twice?
He's not dead. He's alive.
Yeah, I'm pushing him right some more.
I don't know where he went.
Dead.
He's dead.
Nice. I'm 50 bleeding.
Bolt's really low. He's 4 hit. AK's pushing me.
Yep.
He's 1 shot. He's really low. He's dead. We managed to kill these fellas when they were already knees deep in our base, and honestly, I just got back in the nick of time. But alas, they had delivered us a crap load of explosive ammo, so naturally I decided to go use it on their tower that I spoke about earlier in this video, in hopes of getting a decent amount of loot out of it.
Is there anything to crafting some meds? Anything else you need me to craft?
Bring some wood, I guess, over.
Really.
Bring a silencer when you come, you're gonna need it. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind, I got it.
Are you still full kit?
Dude, there's boxes up here. No, I'm not.
Alright.
Oh, maybe craft some more ladders, actually. I don't know.
We have the rope. Where'd you deeper that rope?
In the compound.
Oh, okay.
We'll rocket it. You know what? Maybe just honestly, let me just see 1 sec. Do we just want to try and raid this tower? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just bring over a stack and a half of expo ammo and some SARS, and we'll just raid this tower.
Yeah.
Dude, if we end up comboing out their turrets in their compound, fuck, there's a lot of them.
Oh, great.
They have 2 scrap helis in their main.
See you and your ladders going up. I'm going up these ladders.
Yep. Okay, now here. Up here. quick before we get noticed. Okay.
And we are in.
Okay, no. First things first, we need a break twig.
You want here?
Now we're in a one-dimensional raid.
Oh, okay.
We don't even need to peek the... Okay, now we break this. Don't peek the roof at all. We are coming into your home. Oh my god, the boxes are loaded already. Now break this. Check the boxes. Yeah, do you have a tool?
Yeah. Do you need
How
one?
much health is it? Yeah.
I got a
Oh,
for you.
wait. There's shit in here to make a tool, actually. Oh my god.
What?
Come have a look. Put on a full kit each. Keep your head down. Keep your head down, dude.
Yeah.
You can get one.
Hopefully that's not a...
Look at, I think we go down here. Might as well, we got the expimer on us.
20 HP. You got 4 exploit.
Well, I got rocks.
5.
Yeah, I got rock. Here, take this and make some rocks. For yourself. I've got ladders. Just give me a sec.
Yeah.
Another locker here.
There's an M2 in your watch.
A bit of M2. No, but a lot of 5.5. Not bad. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and peek at their base with the 4X and see if they're peeking us.
Yeah. Bit of bolty as well.
They're not even... The one I saw you shooting for? No? Because they might have been combining windmills, by the way, with those adapters as well, the ones on the roof. Alright, let's go. You got all the shit?
Yep.
Now, we do go back to our base and depot, but we decided to come back since we hadn't really seen any movement around their base besides the one guy I saw enter their base at the very start. We figured we might be able to shoot out some of their turrets and get up to some shenanigans in their compound, but it wouldn't take them long to get onto us.
There's one on roof.
Really? Oh shit.
Yeah. Left side.
Maybe just hide.
Yeah.
2. They've got M2. Oh, he's right above us right now. He's running around on the slanted roofs, but he can't get up.
Yeah.
There's no ladder.
There's another full kit, by the way. This kit.
Guy wasn't full kit. He was naked. I'm dead. No. Down the hatch. Look down the hatch.
Yeah.
Gotta be quick.
Got a heavy armor. Trying to go. And I have
Yeah,
no
the heavy doesn't
flashlight.
work too well.
Yeah. I'm dead.
Now, sadly, our plans did get foiled, and I was still dragging along on basically no sleep. But I figured these guys would be damn keen to raid me. Look, I tried to raid their first tower, killed them countless times, defended a raid against them, and now I raided their tower overlooking their compound. I would want to raid someone if they were doing that to me. So I logged out, changed my name, and waited, hoping they would try and give me a run for my money. But as the hours passed, I felt more and more tired, and just decided to throw in the towel. It seemed like they might not come after all. At least that's what I thought. As you can probably guess, the next morning I woke up to a welcome surprise from Smokey, saying we had been fully offline raided and hard grief to the point where we cannot rebuild, a few hours after I went to sleep, as the cherry on top. Just perfect. But honestly, what comes around goes around. Now, I offline raided the clan cave base, and these guys did the exact same to me in return, so I expected as much. So apparently I've been raided. We'll see. It was the same group, the Miko group, whatever their names are, up on the hill next to Sewer. I gotta decide if I'm gonna rebuild or not. I really want to get them back. I just don't know how. Their base is so fortified. Oh. Right. Is there a door? So they went through this whole bottom section heavily. God damn. I don't know if we have any loot left, really. They didn't even put a... I don't know, this would be TC right here. It's decaying out already. That's where TC would be. I actually might be able to take this over again. And you guys know me, I don't normally give up without giving it one last go. And that's in fact what we did here. We built a whole new base, a compound, everything. And it was much more fortified this time. We even had a master plan to strike back at them using the MLRS rocket system. But I went to eat dinner for all of 30 minutes, and I came back to a little redecorating of our base. Sadly, this time we didn't decide to rebuild once again. But we could all take a little lesson from this wipe. Don't go to sleep while you play Rust, use that duct tape, keep those eyes open or your loot's gonna grow legs and go walk about in the night. Cheers boys, thanks for the support.